We're asked to reduce this rational expression. Now, when we're reducing a rational expression, really the first thing you always want to do is factor, because remember, you can only reduce across multiplication. If you think back to fractions, that was the same thing. When you took out a 2, you were taking out a term that was multiplied. So we're always going to start by figuring out what we can divide by in essence. So you need to be able to multiply, which means factoring. So in this top, I can see that the only common thing here is a 3. So I can do 4x minus 3y. In the bottom, I look at that and I go, well, they both have a 3 and they both have an x. Okay? So then here, I'm taking out, so here, I'm dividing by 3x and storing it out front. I'm left with 1x. Here, I'm dividing by 3x, storing it out front, left with a y. So now that I've done that, I can see those cancel. And unfortunately, that's all I can cancel. It wasn't that exciting. So I'm left with 4x minus 3y over x plus y. This would be my simplified term. And usually we never multiply back. You wouldn't turn this back into this. You would leave it like this. Because usually, honestly, this is usually a prerequisite to something else. You're usually doing something. This is part of something else, and you want those factored forms because they're going to be the most useful to you. Couple of things as you're doing this, obviously, make sure you can factor well. Those skills we learned last chapter are key here. Other thing is really watch your signs. It's really easy to get lost mid-one. And if you look at this, what values couldn't this be? Well, this couldn't be 0 because you have 0 out in front. It also, x couldn't equal y, because if that was true, well, x couldn't equal the negative version of y, because then they'd cancel out, because you can't have a 0 in the denominator. So that's a question you might get asked as you're looking at different things. But hopefully this helps you with the simplification. Just think fractions. What can I pull out to multiply by that I can then reduce? That's all you're doing. You're reducing fractions.